What is up, guys? My name's Devon. Welcome to episode 4 to the stadium building tutorial series. This episode is just going to be about advanced seating and sightlines. The reason I'm doing seating again is simply because I didn't like the basic seating that I did in, I believe it was episode 2. So I guess this is a replacement for episode 2, and I hope it's a good replacement as well. So yeah, I'll get into the guide now. One last thing before we get into the tutorial, don't forget to check the description for any links for downloads and a playlist for the series. And also keep your annotations on in case you need to skip to any certain parts of the video, just in case you're getting bored of that part. But yeah, I hope you're not getting bored, and here's the tutorial. Okay, so we're actually going to start talking about the advanced seating a bit more now. One thing that you should note before we get right into it is that the old style can still be used. As you can see, the 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. What I mean by that is like it's actually 2 blocks like that. So yeah, this old style can still be used on stadiums, but I'll go more into that when I actually start showing you how to build it. I guess now I'll say some advantages and disadvantages, and then we can get right into it. So some advantages are that the sightlines are much improved. I'll give you an example actually. As you can see here on the old style of seating, the pitch is actually cut off there. You lose sight of the bottom line, or maybe about 3 blocks you lose sight of. And on the new seating, you can see the whole pitch, so it helps quite a bit as well. With this wall here, for example, this is actually 2 blocks thick, not including the glass because the glass is see-through. It allows you to have like this this side thing here, whereas on here, I mean, on here it's not even got a sidewall, and most of the pitch is already cut off. And if we were to add a sidewall like that, then even more gets cut off. Like nearly the whole of the 16-yard box or 18-yard box, whatever it is, gets cut off. So that's definitely an advantage. Also, this new style doesn't affect the sightlines from anywhere else. Everything's still good, even from here. That's all still good. Over here it's good as well. In the corners it's good as well, as you can see. So yeah, that's definitely an advantage. Another one is that it looks a lot more realistic. Just the sightlines, even the sightlines are a lot more realistic of the pitch. But also from if you're standing on the pitch, it looks a lot more realistic as well, as you can see. Another advantage is that it can still be used on the corners with my old method that I've already uploaded. So episode 3 to this stadium tutorial guide is curved corners, and I use ruled edit to make the corners. And I showed you how to do it without ruled edit. So basically, those methods are still going to work with this new seating. So yeah. Now disadvantages. Now these aren't too bad of disadvantages, but I'll say them anyway. So I'd say it's a bit more complex to build than the basic seating, simply because the corners you're gonna have to do a lot of different like calculations. I guess you can call them calculations, but like measurements even. But it's not bad once you get the hang of it. Like once you get in the flow of it, you'll be banging out corners really quickly. So and also if you're building real life stadiums, like if you're trying to copy them into Minecraft, then it'll take quite a bit of trial and error to get the angles right of the seating. I'll show you what I mean by angles. So you can see here on the bottom tier, it's a lot more of like a flattish angle, and then as you go up it starts to as you go up it starts to get a lot more diagonal and slant a lot more, but that helps with the sightlines. So yeah, it does take some trial and error. Of course, sometimes you might not get the sightlines perfect, so some might be cut off, but you really just need to try out some different things. But I'd say 90% of the time these sightlines should be fine. As long as, for example, you're not moving this front tier like all the way over here, then that'd be a bit stupid anyway, because all of this would be like behind. Anyways, yeah, I'll get into it now, and I'll show you how to actually start building the advanced seating. So yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get straight into the seating. First of all, I'm just gonna say just to choose your block of the stadium that you're gonna be building. Like in the previous seating build, I'm just gonna use red again. In fact, no, I won't use red just because it's a different guide. I think I'm gonna go with a yellow, since the Brazil World Cup is on at the moment, and yellow seems suited. So yeah, let's get started. So when you're making a rendition, which is pretty much like you're building a real life stadium within Minecraft, what you want to do is just try to get a rough idea of how far away the seating is from the field or pitch. So that pretty much means like how far away the seating starts from the pitch. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you count pretty much from the line of the pitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then where your seating starts. So if you're making your own stadium, in other words, not a rendition of a real life stadium, then you can try and give a decent distance between the field and the start of the seating. I'd usually go for 10 to 15 blocks. So yeah, I'm gonna do that real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna go with 10, and then in fact I'll go with 12. So let me just count those again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then the block afterwards. Another thing I like to do is just make like a little wall there. With this seating, it also allows to have a higher wall here, unlike the past seating. So from here you can add the first floor. In fact, one more thing before I actually go on is it's best to use the trial and error method to make sure that the sightlines are all good. You can do this by making a plan, which is what I'm going to show you how to do now. The plan's going to be easy to change since it's only like a couple of blocks. So yeah, this is how to do it. So do what we've already done. We've made the wall there. This can be like the walkway on the lowest, the lower tier of seating. And then depending on the stadium that you're doing, this is going to be like a custom stadium. The lower tier usually is a bit like the angle is a bit more lower than the higher tiers. So I'll show you what I mean here. So I'm going to go with the 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. So you get the thing, like 3, 2, 3, 2. It doesn't have to be 3, 2. It could be 3, 3, 3, 3. But it really depends on the angle that you want to get on it. I know that in basketball stadiums, for example, the lower tier seatings, from what I've seen anyway, are quite a lot lower than stadiums. So yeah, once you've got like the angle that you want, you can decide on the height. So like I said, trial and error method. Since this is just a plan, the trial and error is gonna come into hand quite a bit. So I think that's high enough for the bottom tier. And then what I like to do is I like to make that the floor, and then have that one seat there, standing out there. I like to do that just for like realism, because obviously you wouldn't have the floor there at the level of like the back of the chair, if that makes any sense. Anyway, so that will be the bottom tier, the basic bottom tier. So yeah, what you want to do is just check the sightlines again. Normally on the bottom tier, the sightlines are always going to be fine. What you can then do, if you're making a rendition, just make sure you get the measurements right. For example, sometimes the wall for the top tier will be just over the last seating, the last pair of seats. But since this is custom, I'm going to do my own. So I'm going to make it a overhang a bit. I do like overhanging seating, so just see the height there. Make sure that when we're doing the roofs or the interior, that the height is not going to interfere. Don't forget there's going to be a wall there, well, the walkway. And then we're going to have the seating. Okay, that should be enough room for a wall. Another thing I like to do just to make the walls a bit more thicker but not too thick is just do that. So it's a bit like, you know, it's got some height there. And then I'd put glass there, or another glass, or like that. But you always want to check the seating, stuff like that. And obviously the seating here is interfered. So what you can do to fix that is either you can put some glass there. Since this is a custom stadium, I probably would have done that. Another thing you could do is actually just move this back a bit. Move it back, lower it maybe one. Or you could move the seating up like this, and have the walkway only one block thing, because this is like one of the middle tiers, which is usually very small, so the walkways don't need to be like massively, or you know, like 2 blocks there, so one will be fine, and you can still see what's going on the pitch. So for the angle of the seating, I'm just going to go with a 2-2-1, and then that's as high as the seating is going to be. And then you can even see the site from here. You can see it from here. You can see it from here. So that's all good. So that'll be my second tier. By the way, I'm gonna have 3 tiers. So I'm gonna have one more after this. Just make it day. So yeah, you're always just like, it's a trial and error pretty much. Just want to make sure your sightlines are good, because that's really what the point of this tutorial is. So yeah, I'm gonna make the higher tier, the 3rd tier even, and that's going to be right above, maybe 1 block back. Just got to make sure that the height is fine, I think. Okay, so up here again is going to be, I think it's going to be 1 for the walkway, then we would have that, and then glass on the top. I'm just going to try out with the glass just to check the sightlines as well. So on the top tier, I usually like to go for, well, I never go for just that. In my opinion, that's really unrealistic. It's lazy. It doesn't look good. So yeah, I'd never go like that. So what you can do is go, depending on how you want the sightlines. As long as the sightlines are fine, you can either go like that. So it's going to be a 2-1, 2-1, or you could go like that. In this case, the sightlines from here are probably going to cut off a bit of the pitch. If you don't mind that little bit there being cut off, because it's only this bottom bit here, you know, up here starts to get better. And so on. Another thing, like I said, you don't have to have that block there. You could just have the glass, and the sightlines will be perfectly fine. Like I said as well, you can move this back, but it's all trial and error. I think one of the reasons why the sightlines are not the best at the lower bits is because this is overhanging quite a bit. Normally, overhanging stadiums, it'll overhang a lot more, and it'll be quite a bit lower, so the sightlines will be fine. But for this stadium, since it's not too tall, having glass with 1 layer here is not too bad. So the sightlines again are good. You can see the whole stadium. As you get higher, the sightlines will tend to get better, especially with the seating. So yeah, once the sightlines are once you're happy with the sightlines, you can again determine how high you want the seating to go. So I think I'm going to go with something like that, because the sightlines are fine, it doesn't look too bad, and it's a custom stadium, so it doesn't really matter. So again, just going to look over the sightlines again. This is going to be glass there. Back here, it's all good. Yeah, that's all good. So this is pretty much the plan I was talking about. So this plan now, you know, it's only a few blocks. You've not gone and done the whole stadium. So with this plan, you can do some trial and error, try out some different version of seating. Try out some different angles. So for example, I'll show you some more angles. You could go 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, because that's technically still a straight line. So what you don't want to do is go, for example, 2, 3, 4. Or you can do that as long as you're going to repeat that again. So you can go 2 again, 3, 4. Basically, you just want to make it like a pattern, as long as it's not like a sort of curve seating where it goes. Let me show you. As long as it's not like, as long as it's not like that, how it starts to like kind of curve upwards, then you should be fine really. I'll show you some more angles. So you've got the 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1 there. You can go 3. You can go 3, 1 even. I don't recommend 3, 1 because it looks kind of derpy in my opinion. It doesn't look like it'll work too well on stadiums, in fact. So in fact, scrap that 3, 3, 1, 3, 1. So 3, 2, 3, 2. So 3, 2, 3, 2 works just good. Again, you can see the seating down here. I think that's the best for the lower tiers. As you can see, I've used it there. Gone 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. Some more angles could be. You could go 2, 3 times. So 2, 2, 2, 1, 1 again maybe. Actually, I wouldn't go 1 again. I'd go 2, 2, 2. That could be a version of seating, but again, I don't recommend it because this here, that block actually goes like, it goes out of sight there. So I don't recommend that one either. So the basic ones really that I do recommend are the 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1. You've got the 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. I've used a 2, 2, 1 there. Again, if you want this to be higher, you could just go again 2, 2, 1 as such, and the sightlines will be good as well. Oh, derp, derp, derp. There you go. So there you go. And on the top tier, I usually go 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. But remember, you can always start with the 1, then 2, then 1, 2. So yeah, as long as the sightlines are good and the angles don't look horrendously stupid. And let me just say that again, never do this because in my opinion this is just lazy and unrealistic. So yeah, as long as the sightlines are good, then you're all fine. Now as for the corners, part 3 I believe is the corner curves guides that I've made, so that'll be in the description in the stadium tutorial playlist. You can check that out. The method that I've used on that tutorial will still work on this, but it might be a little bit more complex with the measurements and such like that, but it will still work. As long as you're not a 12-year-old kid, no offense to any 12-year-old kids, then it should be fine. So yeah. So just to recap, always try to have a fair size between the pitch and the start of the seating. So here I've gone with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So here I've gone with 12 blocks in between the start of the seating here and the pitch. So yeah, that also helps the sightlines. The distance there will also help the sightlines. The further back you go, the sightlines will be better, but you don't want to be too far away, otherwise it would look kind of stupid. So yeah, I think that's advanced seating done, guys. I'll just talk over some little stuff that could help you with lighting up the seating and making the seating look better. So first of all, I like to do this on the last block of every level. Oops. So just like that. Not on there, obviously. And then to light it up, I also like to, if I can just find it, it's glowstone. I like to use some glowstone, and then I'll take some carpet, just like that. So I'll take glowstone. So if I am lighting up the stands, I'll remove this stone block here with glowstone. As such, and of course, never use glowstone. Well, never used exposed glowstone. So to cover this up, we'll do this. So just like that, covers up the glowstone. It also lights it up. I'll show you here actually. In fact, I'll show you in the stadium that I've got over here. In fact, I'll finish off in this stadium as well. So yeah. So I've cut this stadium in half. I did this for this video, in fact. I'll just have to paste the rest of it around there. But anyway, you can see here I've done the glowstone with the carpet, and it still lights the stuff up. So if I go time night, you can see the seating is still lit up. Here you can see some little stuff that I need to cover up. So yeah, there it is. Advanced seating, point in use. I'll just show you what I've done on this, in fact, and then I'll sign out. So I'll go over here, make it time day real quick. So also as well, the stairs on this advanced seating do work as well. I would say the corners are a little bit more tricky. Sorry for the FPS drop there. As I was saying, the corners are a little bit more tricky with these with this seating here. You can see I've got some little bits here to cover up, just like that. So anyway, yeah, I'll show you the angles that I've used here. So I've gone on the bottom. I've gone with the 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, and so on. On the second tier, I've gone with the 2-2-1, 2-2-1. This one as well, I've gone with the 2-2-1. On the top tier, I've gone with the 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, and so on. Some more little tips here as well. You could use this wall design here with the half slab, the full smooth stone slab, and then the glass. And then for here, just to make things cleaner, I've used a stone brick half slab, and that'll be the walkway. So yeah, the sightlines on the walkway are a bit cut off, but of course you should really be on the seating anyway. And yeah. So guys, I do hope you've enjoyed part 4 to the stadium, well, the advanced seating guide. If you think I've missed anything out, just post a comment. I'll be happy to help you guys out with anything. I'll try to describe it best in the comments if you do have any questions. What I could even do is, if you really do need help, you could contact me on Skype, or just inbox me, and I could contact you back with some help. So yeah, I might even, depending on how big the question is, or how big the problem is that you need help with, I could I could even make a separate video just for that help that you were after. So guys, I do hope you've enjoyed this video. I do hope it's been helpful. So hopefully you guys will actually put the tips that I've given you today into use, and make some nicer stadiums. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video, I wouldn't mind you guys subscribing. I'd like to also say thank you for all the subscribers that I've been getting recently. They've been coming in. They've been coming in quite fast actually. I've gained maybe like 60 odd subscribers in the past month, so it's been really good. So yeah, thank you for that, and yeah guys, don't forget to check out my other videos. Don't forget to check in the description for links for the playlist and stuff like that. Don't forget to check out my lighting video with some more tips on how to light up the field. In fact, I can show you here. You can see that the field there is actually lit up, so I have a guide on how I did that, which will be on my channel. It should be in the stadium playlist as well. So yeah guys, just thank you for the support, whatnot, and I'm going to start blabbering on, and you can go on to watch some other videos. So goodbye.